It's time to learn about Mark Zuckerberg, dude. I feel like I should watch this Patrick CC video because it just dropped when I reloaded the page, dude. The suspicious rebrand of Mark Zuckerberg, dude. Founder of Instagram? Just kidding. He did not found Instagram. He purchased it. I actually made a video about it when he did that. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 12 years ago, maybe. Do you think I had any biting commentary on the subject matter? Do you think I had any? Oh, he got the spectacles, dude. Even back then? Hold on. Bro, what was I hiding behind those eyes and those braces? All right, let's see.
Hey YouTube, we just got out of school and
I just want to hear about Facebook. Keep it about the news.
Main channel video, there'll be an annotation somewhere around here so you can go watch it when you're done watching this. And
That'll be in fucking 40 seconds, by the way, because this is a 1-minute video. This is a YouTube short. 10 years before they launched.
Facebook just bought Instagram for $1 billion, and I'm not really sure how I feel about this because I like Instagram, and I know a lot of people don't like Instagram. Whatever, it's your opinion.
It was pictures of food with the Heafy filter, no border. The border was cringe. It's made a comeback.
So there's a lot of
bro, I need a haircut. In the video and in life. I don't know what this is, bro. Don't be afraid to go below a 4 on the sides. But that's just what I've learned with age.
But yeah, what are your opinions?
Can't mock the lad for not knowing. Anyway, let's learn about the Zuck. Not me. This isn't about me. This is about Zuckums.
Zuckerberg thinks he has you fooled. He has spent the
Does he?
Mark Zuckerberg thinks he has you fooled. He has spent the past year suspiciously transforming his image from the geeky
Ain't no way you're 30 now, bro. What do you mean, dude? Mark Zuckerberg's older. How do you think he feels? He's got a bulletproof vest on. He's at war with himself.
Red-pilled alpha bro, and all it took was one conversation.
Is he really red-pilled? I feel like he's just... He kind of looks like a little silly in these clothes. I feel like he should be wearing a suit and tie at all times and taking us a little more serious. Have you seen The Social Network? Jesse Eisenberg didn't drip like this. What did he wear, though? Is that safe to look up? I'm sure Jesse Eisenberg has never done any nude scenes, but I'm just in case. Oh my god! He kind of dripping though. In this picture anyway, the first one that came up, he kind of voguing.
Rogan podcast to expose the evil intentions behind Zuck 2.0. The third richest man in the world wants you to think he is just like you. He dresses like you. He works out like you. He likes to have fun and be silly like you.
What?
He even loves his family just like you do.
Bro, what is all these pictures? He posts like once a year on the gram. Isn't that the case? Surely there's nothing bad about showing the gram, but just in case. I'm very paranoid. Chotted. He's one of these jujitsu fellas, at least I assume. And he's got a wife, and he's got swag. I feel like it's the swag people take issue with. And maybe the political opinions and policies. Oh, here's his apology to the country.
Talk about something important today.
I didn't really ever watch this. He just looks like he's sorry.
Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown.
Keep in mind, he was not involved in the roots of Instagram. He purchased it 12 years ago.
I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy...
He does look a lot more human on the Meta 3.
A lot of this is clearly political. But there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously.
I hate those stuff.
And I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems
is they demonetize lonniedos videos, which are perfectly acceptable.
1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
Honestly, turn it all off.
Recent elections
We're turning it off.
Also feel like a
it's out of here. We're done.
Towards once again prioritizing speech.
Zuck sucks. That's what we're trying to figure out. I feel like
focus on reducing mistakes.
He probably does, but I don't know why yet.
And restoring free expression on our platforms.
Finally.
More specifically.
Then why does Threads warn me when I say a fuck word? It says, "Are you sure you want to post that?" It's pussy. Listen. I want to say pussy. To everyone.
After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote non-stop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy.
Good times, but for other reasons.
Tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been...
Is this going to be in the video, Patrick?
And have destroyed
Do I need to watch this?
Created,
God damn, they fucking lengthened Instagram shorts just for this video, huh? They were like, we got to roll out the 3 minutes. We're the last to do it.
Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just...
Hey man, they're roasting your ass in the pussy comments.
What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platform.
He just wants you to share your beliefs, okay? And that's that.
And most importantly, after decades of harvesting your data and controlling the
I think it was
information shown on
89
your
minutes.
social media feed, he now stands for lower censorship and celebrating your First Amendment right on his platforms. He wants to gain back your trust.
Ah,
But why?
yes.
Today
My
we're going to
trust.
uncover what is really going on behind Mark Zuckerberg's new persona. Isn't it ironic that a seemingly antisocial, unrelatable Harvard genius created the framework
You couldn't
for
take a picture like that anymore.
future of human social interaction? If you ever heard Mark have a conversation, you wouldn't exactly mistake him for a socialite.
You seem to be replacing Larry and Sergey as the
Who? Are these friends of yours? I'm sorry.
people out
Sergey?
there who everyone's talking about. You're just staring at
Is that
me.
a question?
Yeah, he seems a lot more socially apt now. Probably because we all act the same as like the same 15 TikToks now. We all have one amalgamated personality. We live in a society. Put the Joker filter on me.
Because of his awkward demeanor, frequent glitches in speech, and beady, soulless eyes, some people legitimately believe
Didn't need to call
he is
him out,
not
but all right.
human. That
He
is
do
some
look
sort
like
of
Don't Wake Daddy here. Unless this is a photo of that.
crash test dummy with AI software installed. And look,
It's a crash
even though
test
I try
guy.
to keep my videos mostly objective and fact-based, I also love me a good conspiracy theory. And Zuckerberg not being a real human has way too much evidence for you to not even consider it just a little bit.
He's a
It doesn't bother
businessman.
you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
But I was just referring to myself in the past. Not that I was not human.
Zuckerberg, I remember well your first visit to Capitol Hill back in 2010.
Bro, what the hell? He was just thinking of a funny joke.
All right, station, this is Mark Zuckerberg at Facebook. Can you hear me okay?
It's a pleasure to talk with you today.
Great to talk to you guys too. And is astronaut ice cream a real thing?
Are the
What?
allegations true?
Why would it not be real? A spaceman can't enjoy a... whatever it's called, not a deep fried, like a defrost. What the fuck is it called? A dehydrated, delicious frozen treat?
True that you were secretly a lizard. I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard.
It's
And it
not a
makes it even
secret.
harder for him to beat these allegations when he explains to Joe Rogan how basic human conversations work.
I'm
as if he
zucking
just
off.
made a revolutionary discovery.
Your kind of subconscious kicks in. You start thinking about the topic. So it's like you might not actually have the thing
Brain
that you want
blast!
to say until like 5 minutes later. Right. And like when we started this conversation, I think like the first few minutes were like just kind of slow. It's like warming up. Like I'm like okay, kind of like downloading into my memory.
I'm so
like,
human.
How am I gonna like?
He's so normal. He's interacting regular.
Explain these different things, but it's yeah. No, I
Why
just
did
think
you
that-
add the reverb to make him sound like he's crazy? He's just saying regular, normal human stuff.
That's sort of how people work.
However, we do
What
know
up,
that
T-fan?
CEOs
I'm chilling,
transform
I'm
their
vibing.
image and speech to be kind of robotic on purpose. They do rigorous media training because one wrong answer, one wrong word, even a wrong display
this
of
camera,
emotion
dog?
can result in
Looks
overwhelming
awesome.
bad publicity, which could drive down the stock price and upset shareholders. But Mark's robotic demeanor has generated a vast range of conflicting opinions about him, with many believing that he is a power-hungry oligarch looking to destroy human civilization. But to understand where those suspicions came from, we must dive into the dark history of Facebook's origins. Facebook was a stolen idea. In 2004, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss wanted to create a website for Harvard students to add people as friends, send them messages, and update their personal profiles to notify friends about themselves.
You've
They
seen the
called it
movie.
Harvard Connection, which was later rebranded to Connect You, and they partnered with Mark Zuckerberg to build the website. But Mark had other plans. In leaked instant messages to a friend from his college years, Mark wrote, "So you know how I'm making that dating site? I wonder how similar that is to the Facebook thing, because they're probably going to be released around the same time, unless I f*** the
It was already called that, dude? You sneaky
dating
boy.
site people over and quit on them right before I told them I'd have it done." He later confirmed to that friend that he intended on screwing the Winklevosses over, and Mark did exactly that. He built Facebook while delaying Connect You, lying to the Winklevosses and not meeting deadlines. As if stealing their idea and sabotaging their company wasn't scummy enough, Mark also showed how conniving he truly is, attempting to destroy the Winklevosses' reputation after he left.
I can't feel bad for anyone named that who looks like this, and the whole shit's fucked up for you guys. Sorry.
You team, he hacked
it's my bias. I have to acknowledge it. It's the right thing to do. I'm doing the wrong thing, to be clear.
Winklevoss account before Mark admits we copied his account, like his profile and everything, except I made his answers all like white supremacist.
What the fuck? To sabotage?
Mark was extremely aware of his twisted
because he would do that nowadays just to fit in.
He even called Facebook users dumb for trusting him.
A sparkling mandarin marshmallow. Dude, is that their freaking orange cream flavor? Because I think I had that and it was very surprising. A good surprise,
and your
but
data being in control of someone
quite a name.
Trustworthy may not seem like a big deal, but it is.
I got
you
a Celsius
or I
too.
can go to any data broker's website right now and buy anyone's data for a few bucks. It's completely legal. Big companies with
no bang today, though. I think that's where I went wrong. I got too excited about the stream yesterday, and I was drinking my third bang. I was just starting it, but didn't make it very far before I had to lay down for a while. Whoops.
Every day, and your personal information is being sold on the dark web,
no!
So spammers, scammers, and identity thieves can target you.
I hate
if
those
the government
guys.
Can do something like ban TikTok. Why won't they protect you from these similar practices? It's on us to protect ourselves, which is why I use today's sponsor.
Bro has aura. I can't say that I have as much aura as Patrick, but shouts out.
Path of destruction. Eduardo Saverin was Mark Zuckerberg's roommate who loved the idea for Facebook. Eduardo invested.
Dude, that's freaking Andrew. What's his name? Spider-Man. Andrew. What is his name? The British guy who gets sucked off in the movie.
$20 into the company and was paying
by
for
Brenda
server
Song,
costs, which was discovered through these leaked messages from Mark's old computer. In return,
I left all meta sites long ago and I've not looked back. Dude, I would, but I feel like I use Facebook to log into like stuff that really doesn't matter, and then it would be so annoying if it ever happened. But freaking, they really just have me by the balls, I think, because I don't think I need it.
Stake in the company.
And like having Facebook Messenger so superfluous.
Building it. Mark and the other
nothing good comes from there.
And moved to Silicon Valley, the heart of tech innovation.
What the fuck? How many toes does he have? Maybe they used AI to upscale the picture, or maybe that's both feet merged into one, and maybe we're on to something here. 20 toes.
Platform. Meanwhile, Eduardo moved to New York, focusing on another startup called Jaboozle. Eduardo
I'm sure that'll go great.
For setting up the legal structure for Facebook, raising additional capital, and crafting a solid business plan, which he did not efficiently do, according to Mark. As Facebook gained momentum, cracks in their partnership widened. Eduardo's distance from the day-to-day operations.
Mark started doing crack, I think. Based on this photo and what you said, and this is misinformation. Don't sue me, Mr. Zuckerberg.
Mark, who had started collaborating closely with Silicon Valley heavyweights like Sean Parker.
Is that the Justin Timberlake guy? Ain't no way.
Teal. Eventually, Mark and his allies devised a controversial strategy. Through a series of complex and ethically questionable legal maneuvers, they restructured the company to dilute Eduardo's ownership. His stake in Facebook plummeted from 30%
business
to just
as usual, but getting back into
by
streaming.
the time Facebook went public. But Eduardo's story didn't fade quietly.
I have to find out if Facebook's really evil or if it's just
courtroom battles that followed, his
whack.
own accounts of the events in his book, and the $224
They might have already
million
proved it. I'm not paying
box office
attention.
hit movie
Hey,
The
it's the
Social
movie.
Network, the world had an extremely negative view of Mark Zuckerberg. Mark said that the movie, quote, made up a bunch of stuff that I found kind of hurtful.
You ever end up seeing the
human?
Film,
That's a human thing to say.
I did.
I have feelings.
Oh, thanks.
Allegedly.
And what did you think?
It was interesting.
Interesting. You know what? I'll take it.
Now, some people look at Mark's past as nothing more than a cocky 19-year-old kid making teenage mistakes, while others feel that this is an extremely concerning origin story for the man who
origin story, dude. Zuck got that aura now. That's why they mad.
Mark has fought relentlessly to maintain an incredible
Cover
amount
you
of power
freaking
at Facebook.
card flavor you got today. I think it's called
cannot
Ghost
be fired.
Biscotti, which I don't know what the hell that is.
While he only owns about 13% of the company,
It's aight.
he also personally personally controls nearly 60% of the voting power of Facebook shares, because there are two kinds of Facebook stock. The Class B shares that Zuckerberg and other insiders own have 10 times the voting rights of Class A shares. Because of Mark's shady past and immense power, the press put a little bit of pressure on him. However, Mark refused to give straight answers, particularly when it came to privacy.
Patrick, I need you to give me a straight answer right now. Who was in Paris?
In 2010, when he was asked a very simple question and began to sweat profusely, panicking for seemingly no reason.
Do you feel like it's a backlash?
He's scared.
Do you feel like you're violating people's privacy? Do you feel like you're actually
That's so fucked.
as a, because I want to wonder about the person who actually created this thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of stuff happened along the way. I think
I regret everything I've done.
Points and turning points along the way in terms of
Turn the air on, dude. It's really hot in here. Not the shorts working.
I can't go back and change the past. I can only do what we think is the right thing going forward.
That means he did it. He did whatever it is.
Before we move off this privacy thing, and I thought that was a fascinating answer.
It's okay. You want to take off the hoodie?
Larry King used to look so young.
What's with that?
No.
Girl?
You'll see my circuits.
All right.
Sorry.
I'm a beta build. Oh wait, that sounds like an insult. I'm so sorry, Mr. Zuckerberg.
Maybe I should take off the hoodie.
But what exactly was he hiding?
What the fuck,
well, maybe
bro?
the main driver of his revenue.
He's scary.
Since Facebook is a free service, they make nearly all
Maybe
of
I
their
don't mind oversized t-shirt, curly-haired Zuck, surfboard, jujitsu, have-an-ass fuckboy Zuck.
revenue by selling advertisements.
At least from a
business model.
You know, a human standpoint.
Model is relatively simple. The more time users spend on the app, the more ads they can show.
What up,
Therefore, the goal
EFJ?
is to keep growing the user base and keep people on the app as long as possible. But the amount of data that they collect about you in order to show you these ads is not only ethically questionable, it's borderline surveillance. They receive your credit score, your IDs, physical locations, political and religious beliefs, all of your text messages, microphone access, web browsing history. They quite literally get access to your entire life just because you want to use their app and they want to sell you specialized advertisements. Then again, you did agree to their terms of service and you do have the ability to opt out. But the practices they use to keep you on the app is nearing psychological
Throw me in the slammer.
In 2016, a whirlwind of chaos erupted. We had the most turbulent presidential election in history, the Brexit referendum, and billions of people spending more time than ever before online. And Facebook decided to change the way their algorithm worked. Mark wrote in an update letter, "We will also prioritize posts that spark conversations and meaningful interactions between people. To do this, we will predict which posts you might want to interact with your friends about and show these posts higher in feed." Now,
that's why all the comments are stuff like Mark Zuckerberg the GOAT, no cap, and every verified account
was what the algorithm deemed
just
as
doing
the most
self-promo.
meaningful content. For the most politically oriented 1 million American users, nearly 90% of the content that Facebook shows them is about politics and social issues. Now combine that with an
people
even
love
bigger
that.
problem. Political and social issues that made people angry were designed to reach the tops of people's feeds. The algorithm had assigned reaction emojis, including the
can
angry
returning
emoji,
off
5 times
may
the weight
never
of a
change.
simple like.
It's those damn tariffs, dude. I mean, I know that it's been doing this for a couple years now, but we know who to blame starting, you know, it is. They said it's a picture camera, there's a tariff on video cameras, it's a whole thing, dude.
According to company documents, this meant that millions and millions of people were essentially trapped in an echo chamber of argumentative content about political and social issues. But it gets worse. A private company with sinister intentions was able to obtain private data from Facebook due to inadequate oversight. Remember those goofy personality
that would never
quizzes you'd
happen
see back in the day on Facebook? Well, chances are if you took one, you helped fuel political propaganda. Alexander Kogan created an app called This Is Your Digital Life. The app was presented as a personality quiz that required users to be logged into Facebook to take. So not only did it collect the quiz data,
I mean,
but
those did always look like scams you shouldn't click on, but I mean, I just want to know what Backstreet Boy I would meet at the furry convention given my horoscope sign.
All of the personal
so I had to give them my info
Facebook
and pay a fee.
The app also
a small
accessed
fee
data from users' friends without
for
their
such valuable info.
Kogan harvested information from up to 87 million Facebook
He's not holding anything. Blood just got his hands up.
Cambridge Analytica, who then created psychological profiles of Americans for targeted political advertising, deep diving into their exploitable traits obtained from Facebook likes.
the Kenyatta campaign, which we ran in 2013
Gordon
and
Ramsay.
2017 for Kenya.
He doesn't like the cookies.
We have rebranded the entire party twice, written their manifesto, done 2 rounds of 50,000 surveys.
Huge amounts of research, analysis, messaging.
And then we'd write all the speeches and we'd stage the whole thing. So just about every...
Who are these guys?
But Mark vehemently denies that social media contributes to political radicalization or polarization.
Grounding this conversation in the actual research that has been done on this, which by and large finds
His haircut looks like my haircut when Instagram got bought by Facebook.
Social media is not a large driver of polarization. So
shout out
the question
Talon.
is, what are the unique phenomena in the different places? And I think for the people who are trying to say, hey, social media is the thing that's doing this, I think that clearly doesn't hold up, because social media is a phenomenon that is pretty much equivalent in all of these different countries.
Now, in all fairness, this is exactly how we would expect him to respond. But this raises an even more important question. Is it Facebook's civic responsibility to regulate these radical individuals' behavior? Or is it the user that needs to take accountability for their own actions and beliefs? But is it even their fault if they are being psychologically manipulated by algorithms? Or more importantly, are these politically charged posts even being made by real people? Yes, Facebook is a private company, but have they become too big, too powerful? 65% of America uses one of Meta's products. Therefore, they have direct influence over 2/3 of the country. This resulted in Facebook
bring
getting
back the
slammed
fidget
in the
spinners
media,
for real, dude.
specifically blaming them for spreading political misinformation.
This thing barely even
that they
spins, but I
believe led
still
to the
get
election of Donald
mesmerized.
I was really worried from the beginning about basically becoming this sort of decider
Robot?
of what is true in the world. Right? That's like kind of a crazy position to be in for billions of people using your service.
So the company invested in a complicated bureaucratic operation of independent third-party fact-checkers globally who are
I think you should just get rid of the stuff I don't like personally.
certified through the Nonpartisan International Fact-Checking Network. Unfortunately, this system wasn't deemed to be good enough or accepted by really anyone, but more specifically the US government. So they called Mark Zuckerberg in for a congressional hearing in regards to Facebook's privacy and use of data, and this could not have gone any worse for Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh my
His
gosh.
robotic speech was worse than ever. He was looking incredibly nervous, looking like he had to remind himself that humans have to blink and drink water occasionally. He sat on a booster seat to make himself appear
He's
taller.
freaking the
His
fuck
face was
out,
pale
dude.
white. His eyebrows were non-existent. He had a terrible haircut and there was no soul in his eyes.
He was an avatar.
Looks like an avatar of himself, and it was creepy. But what he said was even worse than how he looked.
Senator, I think as a general principle, I think protecting minors and protecting their privacy is extremely important. And we do a number of things on Facebook to do that already, which I'm happy to
And I appreciate. I'm talking about a law. I'm talking about a law. Would you support a privacy bill of rights for kids where opt-in is the standard? Yes or no?
Senator, I think that's an important principle.
I appreciate that.
And I think we should.
Do we need a law to protect those children? That's my question to you. Do you believe we need a law to do so? Yes or no?
Senator, I'm not sure if we need a law, but I think that this is certainly a thing that deserves a lot of discussion.
Imagine not knowing if we need a law.
Competition you face.
Yes, Senator. The average American uses 8 different apps to communicate with their friends and stay in touch with people, ranging from texting apps to email.
It's the same service you provide.
Well, we provide a number of different services.
Is Twitter the same as what you do?
It overlaps with a portion of what we do.
You don't think you have a monopoly?
It certainly doesn't feel like that to me.
So after 5 hours of painstaking investigation, the American people learned basically nothing about how Facebook works, what they do with user data, and it did not immediately result in changes in legislation. However, in regards to the Cambridge Analytica scandal,
I'm learning about the
2019,
corrupt
Federal
evils
Trade
of
Commission fined
Facebook.
Facebook $5 billion for privacy violations. Facebook stole your data, and the government got a payday.
It's tough to be at the other end of that. What was it like? Well, it's not good. I think. Well, the thing that I think is actually the toughest, though, is it's global, right? So. And really, when you think about it, the U.S. government should be defending its companies. I do think that the American technology industry is a bright spot in the American economy. I think it's a strategic.
Yeah, I try not to
advantage for the
think
United
about it.
States that we have a lot of the strongest companies in the world. I think it should be part of the U.S.'s strategy going forward to defend that.
But it was about to get worse. If you thought the world was chaotic during the 2016 election, it pales in comparison to the 2020 pandemic. People were locked inside, petrified.
I've heard of
sneezed
this.
On, the virus death toll seemed to be exponentially increasing, and different information came out every.
You guys remember?
Things that were honestly were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said anything that says that vaccines might have side effects. You basically need to take it down.
John Johnson Jr. donated $4.99 through Super Chat.
The legend. Shout out, John, dude. Hope you're doing freaking well. Thanks for the dono, dog.
It's just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that.
This one's for you.
Inarguably true.
Now, at the time, if you thought mass censorship was happening, you would have been called a conspiracy theorist. But today, Mark seemingly has the confidence to criticize the U.S. government, specifically criticizing the Biden administration after they lost the 2024 election.
These people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like these documents it's all kind of out there.
This is what
that sounds scary.
I want to be on the winning side looks like. Many people believe that Zuckerberg is pandering to the renaissance of private citizens demanding less censorship and less government control over information, and he's shifting all of the blame to the Biden administration that is no longer in power and being like, oh my god, the government is so corrupt, right guys? But he isn't just blaming the government, he is also blaming the third-party fact-checking organization he hired for being too biased. This has resulted in a major change in content policy on Facebook.
First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes.
With liars! We're going to get rid of the truth tellers.
First got elected in 2016.
Just kidding.
The legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
One of Meta's fact-checking
So are you going to hire people that share the opposite opinions to balance it out? I mean, people have opinions. Where are you going to find people without opinions? I don't know. Maybe nothing that's coming to my mind is a good idea, so I just won't say it.
They used Meta's tools to submit fact checks and followed Meta's rules.
I think we should use the AI Snapchat robots.
Meta ultimately
the little avatars
respond to the fact checks
that respond to me when I text them.
The reach of some content,
unlike my family.
Posts. This again just furthered the idea for people that he is trying to absolve himself or his employees of any blame for being a part of the machine used to control narratives, amplify hate, suppress facts, and ultimately divide Americans. And whether or not this is a clever smokescreen or a genuine concern, it is clear that Mark does understand some major shifts in public discourse.
They trust the creators and the voices that they feel
I suppose that is true. Dead people don't get much opinions or get to vote anymore.
Being authentic and giving them value.
Which I think is fucked up.
I think going to be just this whole new class of creators who basically become the new kind of cultural elites that people look at and are like, okay, these are the people who give it to me straight. I think that's a thing that is, maybe it's possible because of social media.
But why does Mark all of a sudden feel like he needs to speak out against these issues? He says it's not because of the election, but then immediately contradicts that by saying how they tried to make company decisions based on whatever the mainstream opinion is.
I mean, at this point, I think a lot of people look at this as like a purely political thing. It's because they kind of look at the timing and they're like, hey, well, you're doing this right after the election.
It's politics o'clock.
Change our content rules like right in the middle of an election either, right? It's like there's not like a great time to do this. It's,
right. And you want to do it a year later.
Yeah, it's like there's no good time to do it. There's, and whatever time is going on, there's going to be. The good thing about doing it after the election is you get to take this kind of cultural pulse as like, okay, where are people right now, and how are people thinking?
I'm in America.
Policies that reflect mainstream discourse.
Shifting gears after an election cycle isn't exclusive to Facebook. Businesses of this size are
Mark Zuckerberg orders removal of tampons from the men's bathroom. What the hell are they going to do when they need them?
He's cautiously straddling the fine line between opposing ideologies, doing their best to stay attractive in a turbulent political climate. But many believe that the only reason his
who's going to clean it up, Zuck?
Ideology is even remotely believable is because of his physical transformation. That this is all a highly calculated PR campaign. Nobody would buy a single word he is saying if it was coming.
Oh, I guess he did try the suit thing I suggested, and it wasn't really working out. But honestly, it was more the sadness that was setting people off, I think.
MDI,
not the fit.
Pale-skinned, horrible haircut, and robotic speech. Mark Zuckerberg. The last time
he's just dressing like Aiden Ross or something, dude.
Look less human than ever.
He looks silly.
Racing.
Now he's smoking meat.
Like doing that, but that's. I feel like all these activities, grilling meats, racing cars, are
smoking meat, smoking
most fun
cars
things that you can do.
Smoking that meat.
So he traded in the prim and proper cut for some modern messy curls, replaced the boring gray shirts for an oversized boxy fit streetwear tee and a long gold chain. But it doesn't stop at the surface.
Hey, old man, I'm Liddy. I don't care. Fuck, what's the button?
Look at this drip, you stupid piece of shit.
I got this Versace's on. Stop playing. I've got the Versace's on. Stop playing.
Gray shirts for an oversized boxy fit streetwear tee and a long gold chain. But it doesn't stop at the surface. Mark even ditched the sedentary
He's even got the David Dobrik bod going.
Lifestyle for the action-packed world of mixed martial arts, training with some of the most lethal fighters in the world.
I know it's supposed to make me like him more, but It makes me feel the opposite, if I'm honest.
His black eyes.
Why?
And
Who hurt
and
you?
Even says that he would like to one day compete in a real MMA match. Suddenly, he becomes less of an enigma and more like someone you might meet at a local gym, grappling with the same struggles and setbacks as any
you
aspiring
freaky, huh?
athlete. He has expressed a newfound love for hunting. He even vowed that he will only eat meat that he has killed himself. And with this transformation, Mark thinks he has you fooled.
Is that necessary?
He thinks that you can't tell that this is a PR campaign.
But when you're fighting, it's like, no, that's like, I think in some ways when people see me competing in this sport, they're like, oh no, that's the real Mark. It's like, because it goes back to all the media training stuff we were talking about when I'm going and giving my sound bites for 2 minutes. It's like, no, it's like, fuck that guy. It's like, that's the real one.
But why does he
He
need
said
you
the
to
fuck
like
word,
him?
dude. Swearing is what we can all relate on and come together to appreciate, dude. I love saying bad words and potty words.
Or trust him. He is nearly the richest man in the world.
It's what
He has
makes me
over 3
trust
billion
people like Gary
using his
Vee.
Products. What more could he possibly need? Well, it could be argued that he is only now contributing to the narrative that our current world is borderline dystopian in hopes that those listening will flee to a world that he created. A world that he calls the metaverse.
Yeah,
Zuckerberg rebranded
let's
the company
all
as
go
Meta
there.
on October 28th, 2021. And conveniently, during the heat of the pandemic, he revealed a new plan for an embodied internet experience, explaining...
I freaking can't even remember the last time I used the MetaQuest, but it freaking always makes me dizzy, dude. You saw me get dizzy at the Game Boy game yesterday. Imagine I was playing Gorilla Tag with my eyes.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Hey YouTube, how's it freaking going, dude? My name is
Yeah,
Lonnie.
yeah, buddy. Okay, go in the metaverse.
I mean, playing the game.
Where's Mark? Where's Monkey Mark?
Hold on. I think I'm gonna wax.
What am I watching?
Game developer. Come here, mister. All right, hold on. This circle. Everything's fine. I can't be hurt when I'm in this circle, right? I hope so. Wait, I have wrist
That's the
straps.
idea.
They don't really do much, though. It almost feels less safe to have them on. Thinking you're safe is worse than being unsafe.
What's going on here?
Ominous.
It looks like I'm afraid.
Oh god. Okay, hold on. Woo. Okay, hold on. There we go. I can do this one. This is easy.
Imagine gaming this way.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Bro's climbing Mount Everest.
Oh god, I'm dying. Dude, what the hell? This is like getting over it, but possible, and I'll never get over it.
And with monkeys.
What is this? I'm in the snow. It's like I'm outside.
I think I was vocally ambushed by other players at some point.
What?
Ugh. I don't like honey. I don't.
I gotta get out of here.
I don't like it.
I gotta get the fuck out of here.
He's going. Yeah, I'm never going back in there again. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg's idea of fun.
it as a way to be inside of or one with the content, rather than viewing it on a screen.
The metaverse.
All right, perfect.
I mean, I guess the new one's supposed to be a little better, but I mean, this still looks kind of like a Nintendo Wii character.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's
I'm in your brain.
Whoa, we're floating in space.
With my family.
This place. It's awesome.
Right? It's from a crater. I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Boss, is that you?
Of course it's me. You know I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
In true Zuckerberg fashion, he didn't create the metaverse. He just stole the name to make everyone think it was his brainchild. The metaverse is more of a general description of any immersive...
Yeah, wasn't it the Oculus Rift first, and then they just eventually got rid of that name altogether? Even the app was called the Oculus app for a while.
World where people can work, play, and socialize. Roblox and VR chat are considered metaverse platforms. However, Facebook's version is called Meta Horizon Worlds, and it's an abysmal failure. Most people think this is just a bad video game with no storyline, no purpose, and horrible graphics.
Yeah, it looks like shit,
but
buddy.
Mark Zuckerberg genuinely believes that this is the future of human civilization, that we will all one day work,
I mean, I've played
socialize,
worse.
and play in this reality that he created. But it's not working. After investing $36 billion into this new venture, Horizon was only used by about 200,000 monthly users at its peak. Since then, it's been dropping in user base drastically. They got so desperate for new users that in August of 2024, they lowered the age gate to 10-year-olds, hoping to get the unsupervised
Okay, well that's just weird.
youth addicted to his
We
platform.
gotta get
But
babies
despite
in
VR
here.
not going exactly to plan, Meta recently launched Orion, their augmented reality glasses that merge the digital and physical landscape.
Because right now, yeah, because I mean, right now we have our phones, but we're like it takes you away from like the physical environment around you. You're kind of like sucked into
I
this
hate
little
that.
screen. I think now in the future, our computing platform, as it becomes more of like a glasses or eventually contact lens form factor, the
Or an
internet is
injection
gonna
into my
overlay on the
eyeballs with a neuro link or a balls link on my
And if you
balls.
can get past the big goofy
Nailed it.
frames, this does seem like really
What's
cool
going on here, dude? It's like the Snapchat glasses, which I do have, because I'm a hypocrite. Y'all ain't know about these ones. I mean, you probably do. They still make these, apparently. I haven't charged them, like, since I bought them, but... These were the Gen 1 Snapchat fuckers. And I should probably charge them someday and use them because they're kind of cool, but mostly stupid. And they post to Snapchat without you looking at it, so that's scary.
Technology that has been glamorized in sci-fi movies for decades, but all it took was a couple motivated college students to show the dystopian dangers that these glasses provide.
We built glasses that let you
I think you push the button and then it like glows that it's recording.
Then as you walk by people, the glasses will detect when somebody's face is in frame. This photo is used to analyze them, and after a few seconds, their personal information pops up on your phone.
I love that. Please scan the QR code of my life.
You're from Bergen County Academies? Yeah. Your Korean
Goofy
name is
yeah, glasses.
If that's
Bro, I
what
should
two
get
bored
prescription
college
lenses in these. That would be fire, actually. And then I can be a Snapchat guy like David Dobrik and get a 12-pack. Not of beer, but of muscles.
Could create. Imagine what a $268 billion company could do. But the only thing Zuckerberg believes in more than the metaverse is artificial intelligence. Mark dubbed 2023.
Maybe you should believe in some bitches, Mr. Zuckerberg. He's a married man. I'm just playing.
Be creative.
A lot of the code in our apps and including the AI that we generate is actually going to be built by AI engineers instead of people engineers. But I don't know. I think that that'll augment the people working on it. So I mean, my view on this is like the future.
Isn't that like what Quebblecop does? Maybe we'll watch that next.
Do kind of crazy things.
And despite his
he makes AI do the AI work for his AI factory, and then the AI viewers watch it because no human could stomach it.
Despite him leading the charge to fuse computers and humans together so that they are one master species, the scariest thing that Mark Zuckerberg is doing
is the phrasing it like that, perhaps?
Spending all of his time learning the most primal human skills. Take one scroll on Mark's Instagram, and he is constantly posting from his isolated island
I looked at that.
middle of the ocean, hunting, fishing, raising cattle.
But you didn't see the swag pic. Oh, I guess you did.
It's almost like he is preparing for a catastrophic event. He spent $187 million on 1,600 acres of land on the island of Kauai. This island is also not dependent on tourism, which means that it is currently self-sustaining and survivable. But even if it's not, he is building a 5,000 square foot underground bunker complete with its own energy and food supplies. He even shared a video to his Instagram of a massive movie theater built underground. So
when your wife catches you in the bunker?
Is there something you know that we don't?
No, I think that's just like a little shelter under. It's like a
little shelter. What are you worried about?
A billionaire who can artificially control the information of 3 billion people is not your friend. Mark likely doesn't want to connect with others in the metaverse, but he does want you and your kids there. And the money that you make for him will be used to keep himself isolated on one of the most beautiful, resource-abundant wonders of the world. He will spend the rest of his days having deep conversations with friends, singing songs to his children around a campfire, cooking feasts for his pack using antibiotic-free cattle that they raised, and fresh produce with 0 chemicals and preservatives. He will hunt, fish, fight, and learn how to build things with his hands. He will breathe fresh air, drink fresh water, and enjoy all the precious God-given resources in an age-old utopia. You, on the other hand, will own nothing, live in perpetual debt, spend nearly 100% of your time in the virtual world chasing fleeting moments of pleasure while your physical body withers away.
I love pleasure moments.
Will operate as an untouchable ruling class, controlling every
having
facet
fun.
of existence, optimizing society for profit while suppressing what little remains of human autonomy. You will be trapped in a dystopian hellscape, and you will love it.
Buddy, we're already here. Shout out Patrick CC, dude, for educating me on the Zuckerberg. I do agree, he is more than just extra large t-shirts. Maybe cool it with that. Use that physique you work so hard to make normal. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, dude.